Welcome to the live, everybody. I'm reading the comments right now. It looks like everyone's saying hey to each other. So cordial and nice. Rodney's here, Chesser's here. Aaron, what's up, Aaron?
Anton's here.
Anton's here. I was talking to Anton last night, actually, on Facebook Messenger. Well, I'm out of ideas. So, what I want to do today, we've done this before, but like a Q&A, like question and answer. But usually we do it in here, and then I just kind of talk about it. And I think it's helpful and kind of fun, but I think it'd be cool if they're smaller topics or whatever, I could just grab some stuff and go and do it on a car out in the parking lot, or I could even like pull my car up or Chris's car and we could do some stuff there. So I'm like totally open to, I think for me a lot of times we're like telling you guys everything, but I think if you guys gave us some questions, it might be kind of fun to, I'm actually like kind of curious what you guys want to hear. I would say polishing or ceramic coating might be kind of tough because we're not quite prepped for that, but if you do want to see some form of polishing, I probably don't have access to a black car, so it might be hard to see the damage, but you know, I could pull up really any car and do polishing if you want. It just might take a little bit of setup. But with that said, I'll talk for a few minutes just to give you guys some time to ask some questions and put some topics up in the comment section. But I do want to say our Memorial Day sales live right now. We have some cool new like limited edition products. We also got, I'm sure you guys have seen them before, but we have like these bottle organizers. I think it holds 6 16-ounce. Even it will even like hold the what's it called? The like aerosol bottles. They're kind of like a, I don't know. They look kind of vintage to me. They're almost like a root beer color, I guess you could say. They're really nice. Powder coated metal. And then the other thing is recently we relaunched our essentials kit, but we created 4 different variations. And so yesterday on YouTube, I posted a video. It's pretty long. It's like 45 minutes, but it's essentially like a complete how-to guide of like, if you get this kit, like this is exactly how you use it. It does everything from cleaning your wheels and tires to washing to adding just a little bit of protection and even cleaning the interior as well. So I'm actually kind of proud about that video. We dove really deep into the details on that. That's why it's so long. We didn't really cut out too much stuff. So
Sean Quinn asks what the newest product release that has blown you away is. So is that the essentials kit, you think, or something new that's not a kit?
That's actually a cool question. You said Sean asked that?
Yep.
So Sean asked, what is the most recent product release that blew me away? You know, I don't know. I'd almost have to think of like a time frame. Like, are we talking within a year, maybe in this year of 2025, or?
Let's do in the past 12 months.
Past 12 months. To be honest with you, I would say this product, Rinse Aid, really was like we've messed around with products like this before, but now that we actually have a dedicated product, like I've used Graphene Boost as like a Rinse Aid type product. I've used.
Dan said that right before you picked up the bottle.
Oh, really? Yeah. So Dan must agree.
He had already typed it.
Yeah, Rinse Aid. There's just something about it that the protection in this, you know, it might not be like the longest lasting, but like the delivery method is so easy. And, you know, I think, here's the thing, when I think about detailing, especially like at home, a lot of the emphasis comes in here with polishing and over here with ceramic coating. But when you think of detailing as a timeline from like beginning to end, or like detailing as a whole, washing and maintaining your car is the thing you do 95% of the time. The other 7%, or sorry, 95%, the other 3% is the polishing and the other 2% is the ceramic coating. Like you're not ceramic coating your car every 2 weeks or every month. You absolutely are washing your car every 2 weeks or every month, right? And Rinse Aid being added into the line to make rinsing your car easier, to reduce the amount of water that's on your car after you rinse it off, so your drying towel goes a longer way. You know, the fact that it provides that hydrophobic protection with very easy to use, I think this was like a really unique product. And I think the other thing to think about too, like there's other products on the market that are similar to this, but this was very much, you know, formulated to make your life easier. And with the more sealant type of protection, it's like amazing. There's a touch of ceramic in here, so it will work with graphene ceramic coating or any ceramic coating for that matter. But the fact that you could put this onto a foam cannon, or you could, you know, spray it out of a bottle diluted, or spray it into the stream of the pressure washer, just very, very cool. I really, really like this product a lot. And you know, I showed it a few weeks ago, but kind of the difference between Rinse Aid and H2O Garden Gloss, if you haven't seen that live, I would go back and check that out. It's a cool kind of explanation of how they're different, but how they're also similar together. And I would say, like, I don't choose. Like, I'll use Rinse Aid sometimes, or I'll use H2O Garden Gloss sometimes. So
you don't have to only use one or the other.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the beauty of like our whole product line. And I'll just say this, Adams Polish's product line is extensive. Like, it's almost too much. I think that would be, here's the comments we get online all the time, right? Oh, they're turning into a certain other company, right? They have too many products. It's too confusing. Yeah, I think it is, but like the reason why we have so many products is to kind of, you as the person doing it yourself, whether it's in your driveway or whether you're like a professional detailer, like we want to provide as many options to customize it to your routine the best possible. So some people will never do H2O Garden Gloss because it's just too much, but they absolutely will do Rinse Aid. So they're doing very similar things, but just like the delivery, the routine of how you do it's different. So, so yeah, I mean, I think the part of Adams Polish is like trying to decipher what you need. That's why like the new Essentials Kit exists, is because we said, what are the 6 products that people need to do both the outside and in of their car? And here's a great starting point, but then like you can branch off after that, you know, so.
Danny put in a comment, like he was one of the first comments actually, said, the haters say Spray Ceramic Advanced is not a real ceramic coating.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to explain the polystyrene versus silica difference?
Danny, I like that question. And shout out to all the haters, because we love that.
We could potentially show like spray coating flashing.
Yeah, I can show you the difference, to be honest. I'll just explain it first. So Danny, that's a good question. I think the first thing we have to think about is how you define a true ceramic coating. Okay, so I think I've said this before and I'll say it again. The term ceramic in the car care industry is a very loose term. It is used in so many different forms, and I think for us it's been frustrating to like see how it's used. It's kind of like microfiber is the same way. I'm like, dude, you can make microfiber out of 100% polyester. Microfiber is a term of like how it's constructed, right? And microfiber is made from a lot of different things. There's different blends. It's made from different things. And depending on the blends and what it's made from, microfiber can actually scratch your car really bad, you know? But for us, we get all of our towels from a very specific supplier out of South Korea, and we've been with the same supplier since I've worked here, since 2012. You know, so the towels are, Adam found them very early on and he stuck with them because they're so good. And I think part of the reason why our microfiber is a little more expensive is because, number one, it's more durable, but also it doesn't scratch your car. So if you do all this work to polish and ceramic coat, when you wipe it with an Adams Polish's microfiber towel, it doesn't create scratches to like work against yourself. Ceramic, same concept, right? SiO2 or silica technically is ceramic. That's what is more in a water-based type of ceramic. Polysilazane is more of your true ceramic coating in a bottle like this, okay? So,
Or that.
Yeah, like a silazane based coating is what people would technically call like a true application ceramic coating that lasts many years versus a silica based ceramic, or a lot of people would call it like a spray ceramic sealant. I don't know, there's just so many weird terms. But like I would say like it's hard to decipher this, right? Because like I know this because I've worked here for so long, but like anything that's in a 16-ounce bottle like this is a water-based formula. And when I
which is silica, not polysaccharin.
which is silica, yeah. You I might be able to go in there and see. If you mix a silazane raw with water, it like rejects it. It turns to jello. It's crazy. Like our first iteration of the graphene ceramic spray coating, water got splashed into it and the whole thing turned to gelatin.
It's because Chris was once telling me that's because when you apply it to a car, it's reacting with the water in the air.
Yeah.
So if you open the bottle and put water in it, it would just react with the water and then you couldn't use it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so a silica-based ceramic is a water-based ceramic. Okay, and when I say water-based, within car care, there has to be a vehicle agent that gets it from inside this bottle and onto your car, and then the vehicle agent, like water, evaporates into air, leaving behind the silica or whatever's in the formula. Whether it's silica, silicone, wax, whatever. A silazane-based coating has to be solubilized into solvent because it doesn't work with water. And so a true ceramic coating is a solvent-based silazane ceramic coating. So the solvent is the vehicle agent to get it out of the bottle, and then you put it on your car, the solvent flashes off the surface, and it leaves the ceramic behind. So our ceramic spray coatings essentially all we did here, I'm going to go like this actually. Put this right here, put this one over here. When you look at these, it's concentration levels. So
in order
from
level.
Highest concentration level to least concentration level. So this one is about 55% of the polysilazane and the reduced graphene oxide, and then a bunch of other stuff. But polysilazane and reduced graphene oxide are the two things that are in this that make it a graphene ceramic coating. So this has 55% of the raw material. So all that means is it has a thicker loading level.
It's okay.
Has a thicker loading level. So I'll explain that here in a second. So this is 55%. This is, I'm pretty sure, either 35 or 40%. Then this is 15%, and this is 7.5%. So you can see like the different percentages of the raw material that we want to leave. When we say percentage of raw material, that the raw material is the stuff we're trying to keep on the car, which is polysilazane.
It's like the active ingredient.
It's the active ingredient, yeah, exactly. So essentially what that means is like, think of it as a thickness layer on your car. It's measured in microns, so it's like you can't really see it with your naked eye, but like the graphene ceramic coating advanced, which is 55% of the raw active, think of that under a microscope is like a ream of paper that's like this thick, right? Very, very thick loading level. When you get all the way down to like the 7.5% of the graphene ceramic spray coating, it's like 3 sheets of paper, right? So it's like this thick versus this thick. So they're made of the same thing. There's just less of it in this one versus this one. So if they're made of the same thing, their durability is the exact same, meaning like how fast they or how they wear away. They have to be abraded away from polishing or washing, or abrasion is the only way to remove a ceramic coating.
Can I clarify one thing? By durability, you're talking about like how hard it is to abrade it off. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then longevity.
Yeah, the longevity is different because of how thick the layer is. So if you have something that's a lot less on the car versus a lot more, they wear away at the same rate, but this one goes away first because there's not as much on the car, if that makes sense, right? So it'd almost be like, I don't even know like another way to present that. But essentially, these are silazane based with reduced graphene oxide, and this has the most raw active and this has the least raw active. So essentially what our chemist did was he took this formula. This was the first graphene ceramic coating we ever launched. And then he just, out of just being creative, he cut it, he took out a lot more of the raw ingredient, put more solvent in, and then you were able to spray it, but it still performed the same way because it still has the polysilazane and reduced graphene oxide. So then after we had these two going for about a year and a half, then we wanted to make it last longer, we wanted to up the raw material. So he doubled this one, and then he added more he doubled this one, and then he added more into this one. So this is 7.5%, this is 15%. So this is twice as much of the active ingredient as the original graphene spray coating. So if you double it, essentially you can double the longevity. So this was a year, now this is 2 years. And this one was 35% or 40%, this is 55. So like you go from say a 5 to 7 year coating to like a 9 to 10 year coating. But I'm just gonna I hope that's a good enough explanation, because and just a little history lesson of like ceramic coatings is this Boost product is a silica based ceramic, or it's a water based ceramic, so it's silica or SiO2 with the reduced graphene oxide. Now Boost, the reason why it's even called a Boost was because back in the early days of ceramic coatings, the formulas weren't sophisticated enough to be able to just put it on and leave it. What you had to do was you had to put the ceramic coating on, and what would happen as the crystals were forming into its ceramic structure on the car, it would create a ton of static electricity. Like you could set your hand over it and you could feel it. You would set your arm over and you could see the hairs like stick up to it. And that's also why in the aviation industry, you couldn't put ceramic coatings on planes, because the static electricity would attract lightning. Okay, so that was like, you can't put ceramic coatings on planes. Now with it being more sophisticated, you absolutely can. But when you would put a ceramic coating on, then you would, after a few hours of it curing, and you could feel the static electricity, you would have to follow it up with a boost, a ceramic boost, to stop the static from happening, and it would smooth everything out, make it perfect. And then the reason why we call it Boost was because after, you guys know this, after washing your car 20 times and doing all this stuff to it, your car gets damaged, the ceramic coating gets damaged, it starts getting abraded, then it starts to lose its hydrophobic properties. So to make the hydrophobic properties come back and keep your ceramic coating working like it was intended to, you would put a layer of Boost on top to help the structure of the ceramic coating to make it hydrophobic. And so silica, or SiO2, was the material or product that really worked the best with, because it is a ceramic base. I even think there's a little bit of SiO2 in these products, in the ceramic coatings. But
I think, and I could be wrong, but I think I remember our chemist saying that the polysilazane ones, when they react, they have SiO2 crystals that form on the surface.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but
yeah, I mean, it crystallizes once it's exposed to the moisture in the air and the oxygen in the air. That's why, like, if you open this and you like left it sitting open, the whole thing would crystallize on the inside. It would take a while, but
we've had a few questions, including from Will Embry, about getting coatings done professionally versus can you do it yourself just with our products?
Yeah.
And then we have another question from Jay.
Okay, Will Embry, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, so Will Embry said, like, the difference between like getting a ceramic coating done professionally versus can you do it yourself type of thing. Adams Polishes wouldn't be in business if you couldn't apply ceramic coating at your house, like a DIY type of thing, okay? And I'll just tell you this, like, really the main difference between a professional putting a ceramic coating on versus someone at their house is the professional knows how to do this process, the polishing process. Because most of the time when you have a professional do it, they essentially correct your finish to make it perfect before they apply the ceramic coating. And so, you know, ceramic coatings, if you go price them right now, they're kind of all over the board, but the people that have the experience and are doing it the proper way costs about $1,500 or more. Like I'd almost say like $2,000 or more. And really what you're paying for is the time for the person to do the paint correction, because the ceramic coating part takes exponentially less time than the polishing part. And so at Adams Polishes, we're taking the processes and concepts that professional detailers are able to do, and then we're teaching it to people at their house. So our whole YouTube, our live videos is all dedicated to how-to videos on how to do everything. And if you're willing to take the time and do the process and a little bit of hard work, you can save a ton of money. So like if you got our biggest kit, polishing kit, that let's say it costs, I don't even know how much it costs. Say it costs $500, and then this coating kit costs, you could probably get on sale for, this says $162. For $660, you could fully polish and ceramic coat your car at your house, okay? Versus spending $2,000 to have someone else do it, if that makes sense.
You could do it repeatedly.
Yeah, and then you could buy the ceramic coating bottles, because then you have everything. And then you could do your wife's car, you could do your in-laws' car, you could do your neighbor's car. You could start charging people money to do it, and then it pays for all your stuff. And now you have a detailing business doing polishing and ceramic coating.
Or you can wait 2 years until your car is more scratched and repolish it with the tools you already have without having to pay extra.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can do a one-step polish and reapply the spray coating. Like you have more options when you're doing it at your house, you know? So I think I'm more partial to somebody doing it at their house because number one, it's super easy to do, but number two, it's way more rewarding for you to do it yourself. I think there comes like if I do it on my own, I end up taking care of my car that much better rather than having some, you know, but there's also an argument that if you're gonna pay $2,000, you don't wanna scratch your car after that anyways, but there is just a feeling that you get from actually like going through the process. And my whole time working at Adams Polishes, the most rewarding aspect of my career at Adams Polishes is teaching someone how to do it and then seeing their reaction and how that like makes them feel. It's one of the greatest things ever.
Rod says, does Adams offer quote unquote professional grade ceramic coatings?
Does Adams Polishes offer professional grade ceramic coatings? We do. It's offered through our Pro line or professional line, and that's accessible for professional detailers, but you have to present a tax ID number or EIN number to our wholesale rep, and then they get you signed up for the Pro line, and then you'll have access to the professional graphene ceramic coating, but also essentially like larger sizes of some of the products that you need for detailing. So through the Pro line, yes. And we're actually we're going to relaunch our Pro line. I don't know when it's going to happen, but we're trying to make it even more tailored to professional detailers with a larger assortment of pro grade products. So
Cole Hires is he's trying to understand the different types of graphene products that we have.
Yeah.
And so he said he got graphene CS3 and the graphene spray coating. When do you use those?
Okay, yeah, that's a good. By the way, this is who said that? Cole. So Cole, that's a question that we probably get the most, and I'll try to explain it. It's a little bit of this is like you could just put it right here. A little bit of this is like a personal preference thing, but I'll explain it to you. I'll explain these first, and then I'll explain everything after that. So graphene ceramic spray coating, this is your foundational layer. This is the thing you want to put on before you use graphene CS3, okay? So graphene ceramic spray coating is a silazane-based ceramic coating that comes in the spray form. It's intended to last 2 years, but to be honest with you, the year rating is complete BS because nobody knows how you care for your car. So that it's very hard to judge on that, okay?
2 years in a garage untouched.
No, not necessarily. I'd say it's like 2 years for a daily driven vehicle, but that maybe doesn't live in Colorado where it snows all winter, right? So the more harsh weather you see, rain, snow, I mean, realistically, the more harsh weather you see, the more you end up washing your car, which every time you touch your car, you're braiding it. So keep that in mind, all right? Now, Graphene CS3 is a maintenance product to the foundational layer of the graphene ceramic spray coating. So Graphene CS3 is just an extension of our original CS3, okay? So this is a silica-based product, and then this is a silica-based product with it being bolstered by the reduced graphene oxide. So when I say bolstered, it like strengthens the protection in it, so it ends up lasting longer, okay? So if you look on here, CS3, it says clean, shine, and protect. The CS stands for ceramic spray because it's silica-based, so SiO2, which is a form of ceramic. And the 3 stands for the 3 things it does, which it cleans, excuse me, it cleans, it shines, and it protects. Cleaning means it has waterless wash elements to it, so lubricating agents. The shine means it has shine agents in it, like detail spray. And then the protect means it has the SiO2 or silica in it to help protect a vehicle. Now, I'm just going to be 100% clear with you. CS3 was our attempt to compete with the rest of the car care market who was using ceramic as a loose term. It was like we came out with ceramic coatings. We didn't it was just ceramic coatings and ceramic boost to work with your ceramic coating. Everyone took the ceramic boost product and they said, hey, look over here, we have a ceramic spray because it's silica, it's ceramic. Like, trust us, it's ceramic. This is ceramic coating. And we're like, what the hell? No, it's not. It's not a ceramic coating. This is a ceramic coating. So we had to conform at a certain point, and we created CS3 as like a competing product for like your silica spray sealants. That's essentially what this is. And so we took CS3, we added the reduced graphene oxide to it, which that's why you get graphene CS3. So like what I would do is I would take a Saturday, get your car how you want it to look. It does not have to be perfect. You apply the graphene ceramic spray coating onto it, okay? Then, and I always say this, the best maintenance product for a ceramic coating is a 2-bucket wash. It's not a single product. It is how you wash your car, okay? So let's say that you put the graphene ceramic spray coating as a foundation layer on your car. You come back 3 weeks later and you park your car in the garage and it hasn't rained, your car is not super, super dirty, but there is like a layer of dust on it, okay? And you wanna just like get that off before you take it for a drive. You could go through and just spray and wipe down your whole car with graphene CS3 in a waterless washing method. That's what this product is intended for. And not only is it going to remove the dust from it, like a waterless wash process, but it's gonna make it super shiny and it's gonna boost the ceramic coating that you already put on the car, okay? Now, sorry.
As like a follow-up to
Yeah.
that, Jeff Mendoza says, I've coated my vehicles with the advanced coating and I maintain with graphene detail spray.
Yeah.
And then every few months I apply graphene boost. Is that the right process?
Yeah, I think that's a great process. Yeah, and I think, I'll just say this, we have a video that is kind of dedicated to this, but like detailing and like what you need to do is very much like a judgment or like a feeling. So like,
Subjective.
yeah, the reason why I say that is because, for example, and I could go through a million different scenarios, but I'll just, at its basic form, you put a ceramic coating on your car on a Saturday. On Thursday, the next Thursday, you're driving and you get caught in a rainstorm, right? You get home the next day, it's sunny out, and your car looks very dirty, okay? You're like, I need to wash my car. So you go and you get your hose or your pressure washer or whatever, you start spraying off the car and you realize the bottom half of your car, the water is completely flat. It's not hydrophobic, which a ceramic coating makes a hydrophobic layer, right? You're like, oh my God, the rain ruined my ceramic coating. It took the ceramic coating off my car. It did not, okay? So because you sprayed the car with water and the properties of the water turn flat on a certain portion of the car, should trigger something in your mind that says, there must be road oil on my car, right? So you would end up using graphene shampoo to wash your car instead of a standard car shampoo because this has degreasing properties in it. So now you use graphene shampoo, after you wash the car with graphene shampoo, you rinse it off and boom, it's hydrophobic again. That's because there was a layer of oil on top of the ceramic coating sitting there. Some people would say it's clogging it. It's not clogging it, it just means it's sitting on top because remember, this is hydrophobic. It's not omniphobic, which means it doesn't reject oil and all this other stuff. It only rejects water, right? So like when it rains, listen, people don't take care of their cars. So there's oil, people have oil leaks everywhere. So there's oil all over every road that you drive on. Rain mixes with it, it goes on your car, boom, it sticks to your car. Now and oil is hydrophilic, not hydrophobic. Hydrophilic means it's flat on the surface, doesn't bead water, okay? And so you do that, it should tell, your ceramic coating tells you what you need, right? I would say like ceramic coating maintenance isn't necessarily something that is like, every month, every third Thursday of every month, I'm gonna do this. It's like overkill, right? Your ceramic coating is gonna work for a very long time. It's just, how can you consistently help it out, which is the maintenance part of it. So I don't want you to get too caught up with like your process is amazing, but like I would also see like how your ceramic coating is reacting based on like the weather you drive through and all the other things. And if you want a better explanation of what I just talked about, we have a video on our YouTube here that says, listen up, what is your ceramic coating telling you? And we go through everything from when do you need graphene shampoo to when should you do a maintenance clay on a ceramic coating, because you absolutely should do a clay process on a ceramic coating, all the way to like what's a great maintenance product to use on a ceramic coated vehicle. Like H2O Garden Gloss is a maintenance product for a ceramic coated vehicle. Rinseaid is a great product. Graphene Detail Spray, Graphene Boost. There's just so many things about it that's so confusing. I think that video explains it the best, not even a question.
David Boyce, David Boyce says, detailing is like making a salad. Graphene Boost or Detail Spray either makes for a great topper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Great topper. Do you want bacon bits or?
Cole has another question.
Yeah.
What's the best product to get heavy fuel soot off of the rear bumper during the washing process? I used iron remover, but I feel like there could be a better option.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming he means like coming from the exhaust tips.
Coming from the exhaust. I would say like exhaust residue is more like an oil byproduct, right? Because it's like the gas and whatever is coming out of your exhaust, right? It's not metal soot, because
it's like carbon.
Listen, if it's metal coming out of your exhaust, you have like real problems.
Yeah.
Okay. But I would say like probably the two best would be these two products, all-purpose cleaner or eco all-purpose cleaner. I like all-purpose cleaner better. It's just been in the line forever, so I use that quite a bit. But when it comes to cleaning exhaust tips or like soot on your bumper, I would use this. And I'm not even saying like you need to spray this on the whole car, but realistically, like you could, like let's say you're washing your car, you get to that portion. If you have a bottle of all-purpose cleaner, you could legitimately just like spray it into the wash pad, or you could spray it onto the area to treat it and then go over it with the wash pad. Or you could even, if you have one of these, you could dunk this in like your wash bucket to get it wet and then spray all-purpose cleaner on here and then like go over the surface. So yeah, I'd say all-purpose cleaner is a better product for that because it's more there. It's like a degreaser, so it's like it's to clean like oily residue on things,
Chester Thomas says, can you do a live on which towel goes with which product?
Yeah, I could absolutely do that. Chester asks do a live on which towel goes with which product. I mean, if he wants an explanation right now, I could just tell him. But
you could just grab one of each towel. And...
There's a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, I again, just for everybody watching, like the way I see Adams Polish's product line, from every single thing, from the towels to the products to the tools, I just see them as tools in a toolbox rather than like very specific things. But again, I have like a lot of experience with it. So I was just talking about this upstairs. Like I was in Houston one time at Ferrari of Houston with Adam, and our shipment that we got there, because we were like cleaning some cars, we didn't get waterless wash or detail spray. It just like, we forgot to send it. He fully took glass cleaner and he wiped a whole car down with glass cleaner. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you can't do that. He's like, why? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, well, it cleans, doesn't it? And it's like lubricating as I use it, right? I'm like, all right, he's the master. But that's like the thing is like, glass cleaner is a cleaning agent. Like it's not gonna leave streaks, right? Like it doesn't leave streaks on glass, but you have to use more of it because the alcohol content, it flashes off the surface faster. So like you just have to work in smaller sections. But it kind of changed my thought process on like how the line works as a whole. And like, just for example, I'll do a dedicated live to it, but just an example on this wall right here, these towels moving up because there's no more towels underneath. A double soft plush towel, okay? This is constructed of the exact same material as a single soft plush towel as a borderless gray towel, okay? The double soft though is if this is single ply, the double soft is 2-ply like this, okay? Actually, you know what? I'll just show you. But I'll just say this, the borderless gray towel was introduced into the Adams Polishes line because of H2O Garden Gloss. It's gray. You use 2 of these towels to do the H2O Garden Gloss process, and it's gray because H2O Garden Gloss is gray. That's the only reason that these towels exist in our line, but they're such great towels that people love using them as their like polishing or ceramic coating removal towels and things like that, okay? But I'll just show you the difference between these two right here. This is, the double soft has the silver silk edge and the single soft has a black silk edge, okay? So let me just get these going. So these look almost virtually the same, but really the difference here, and this is something Adam taught me, and this is the reason why we have these. A double soft is a more thick towel. So like when you fold it like this, it is a thicker towel. Because there's more material with this, it absorbs more product. Okay, so a double soft towel is ideal for doing the detail spray process.
And it's double because it's literally 2 single softs with this one edge, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Then the single soft, okay, when you set this up, it doesn't sit as high. Like you can see somewhat of the difference, okay? But the single soft, like Adam was telling me, is like, because it's a single ply, we use at Adams Polishes the single soft specifically for removing compound and polish, okay? And the reason why you don't want it to be as thick is because you want to be able to feel your car as you're doing it. So like, oftentimes, you know, we fold these a couple times and then you go to do it, but you can feel every crease of the car as you use this product, okay? And especially if you don't fold it, you can feel every edge that you're touching on the car. It's a more like intimate experience with the car because it's like every crease, every corner, every piece of the car you can feel through this towel. But you don't need this to be thick because you're not trying to absorb detail spray or slick and slide or graphene detail spray, right? And so the double soft is a lot better of a product for a quick detailing process. Spray detail spray on, wipe it off. You can use one whole double soft towel to do a detail spray process on a car, like if you're at a car show or like you're in your garage. If you're gonna do a quick detailing process with a single soft, you need 2 of them. So if you need 2 of them and then you just put them together, you have a double soft, if that makes any sense whatsoever. The other reason why they're white is because if you're doing your quick detailing process with a double soft and you go and you wipe and this gets crazy dirty, you can see it on a white towel. On a gray towel, it's not as easy to see. So you might spread or push the dirt around your whole car more so than you would if you saw it on a white towel and then you flip it over to a fresh side or fold it onto itself for a fresh side. So that's why we make these towels white, is so you can see like where, if you pick up any excess dirt or anything like that. That's also why like the Ultra Plus drying towel is my favorite drying towel, because it performs amazing, but it's white. And so you can see when you're drying, if you go to a spot that gets crazy dirty, then you don't end up moving the dirt to another place, if that makes sense. So that's just like a little preview of what I'll talk about in the live video that's talking about what towel goes with what product. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. Waiting for a few more. I have like 10 minutes left. Not doing much demonstrating, Chris. I think people just want explanation. Or like, tell me how this works. Trying to think if there's anything else that I could even think of that are questions we get. Maybe I'll do another live in a couple weeks that's more going through and defining like the whole graphene line, from like the graphene ceramic coatings and then like the maintenance products, but then also like graphene infused products that aren't really maintenance products, but it's like blah, like drives me crazy. But
John Patrick says, enjoy the videos. I battle dog hair. Can't leave him behind. Can you give any tips or make a video on how to clean up pet hair?
yeah. So who asked that?
John Patrick.
John Patrick. Unfortunately, John, I don't have access all the time to a car that has pet hair all over it. So it's hard for me to like make videos with that. But I will say, for you specifically, great tools to invest into. This would be like the number one, I would say. This is the pet hair removal tool. And then I would also say like a cockpit brush or like the mini cockpit brush. These are great tools. Even like the carpet drill brush that you can attach to a power drill is a good one for that. But this one specifically, the thing I really like about this pet hair brush is also a powerful vacuum is kind of a must. But anyways, the pet hair removal tool, which is should say tools, is because there's two of them in here. This red one is like a very firm rubber, and then the black one is like a softer rubber. So like depending on the carpet you have, or even like the type of, like some pet hair comes really wiry and some of it comes like really fluffy. You might need, like for the more fluffy, like soft, you need the harder rubber. And for the more wiry, you might need the softer rubber. But the reason why I think these pet hair removal tools are so cool is because we shaped it like a border around our A. But the cool thing is this can fit into the corners of the seats that or like the interior that you're working on. So you have a lot of different options, like a hard corner like this, or a rounded corner like this, right? And then a big, broad, flat surface like this. And all you do is it's like you're brushing it, okay? And then what happens is the pet hair starts to pile up. And what I like to do is I'll take like I don't even think we have one over here. Not really, but I'll have my a vacuum head, and I like to hold it, and I like to brush the hair into the vacuum. I'll just go, maybe I'll brush it into a pile, vacuum it up, brush it into a pile, vacuum it up. But having it with you while you're vacuuming your car makes it a little bit more like efficient of a process. So this tool is really, really amazing. Plus, I think there's even like this also works really good too. This is like the interior cleaning gun. You need an air compressor as a pneumatic tool, but this is a great way to use air to blow. Like the thing about it is like the carpet sits like this, and then your pet hairs go land in it like this. And if you can get air to go in and then blow out of the carpet like that, it can like lift the hair out, so then it's easier to vacuum it and get rid of it. So I would tell you, John, that you need everything, but this would be the most important, is the pet hair removal tool.
Jason wants to know what the difference between Megafoam and Ultrafoam shampoo is.
Oh, it's a good question. Good question, Jason. So, Jason, the Megafoam and the Ultrafoam, I'll just say this, okay? I think prior to 2017, the only soap we had was car shampoo and wash and wax. And our marketing director he was like, I want a soap that has the thickest suds possible. Like, can we just jack up the concentration level of car shampoo and make it foam better? And it was like, no, not really. So our chemist, Chris Gauhar, came up with ultra foam shampoo. So this produces like quite a bit of thick suds. And this was like the best we could do in 2017, I think is when we launched this, right? And the other thing that our chemist did, Chris, was he added some protection to this. So this has some sealant, some like polymer sealant protection to it. Okay, so it's kind of in line with like the type of protection that H2O Garden Gloss has in it. So with that added protection, the reason why he did that wasn't exactly to like protect your car for months and months and months. It was more of like when you're done using Ultra Foam shampoo, your car feels crazy slick because there's like a polymer sealant left behind after you're washing. So it creates like a kind of a more complete experience from using the soap, from like how thick the suds are to like what your car feels like after you're done using it. But unfortunately, about a year later, I want to say, our chemist found a very unique technology in the foaming capability, and he found megafoam. And so essentially the foaming agent that's inside here, the foaming agent derived from, I can't remember exactly the industry. I think it might have been from the oil industry, but essentially the foaming agent in here they use in an industrial industry where they mix concrete with the thickness of that foam, and then they inject it into, crevices and this and that. Then the foam dissipates and the concrete stays behind. And so he was like, so he found it because it's like it has to be super thick to carry concrete into places that you can't just like pour it somewhere, right? And so he said, I'm going to try that. So he took the foaming agent from that industry, he paired it with the surfactants and soap, and boom, you get mega foam. And it's like, if you run it super concentrated, like we say like 2 squeezes is enough. If you did like half of a bottle of mega foam, it is like Barbasol shaving cream. Like it is so thick. And so he one-upped the Ultra Foam pretty quickly because he found a new technology. And so then Mega Foam became kind of the new old, like I'm not going to claim this, but in my experience, I would say Mega Foam has the thickest suds in the car care industry, like hands down. Of all the soaps I've used, nothing compares to this one. So if you're really into like, you can kind of see it on that picture up there, like how thick it is. Especially like right behind the bucket, you can see like how thick the suds is falling off of the car. So Megafoam creates very, very thick suds. And so the thing I do really like about Megafoam is that because the suds is so thick, it's so concentrated, it's like almost more heavy. And so if you really layer it onto a very dirty car, it starts to fall off the car and it pulls all the dirt, loose dirt and grime with it, and then like hits the ground. So then when you do get into the washing part, there's not as much dirt on the car as if you used a less foaming type of product, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a weird deal, but like, I think for us, here's a little secret, Ultra Foam has great SEO. So we like won't get rid of it because it helps our website, but we could easily like get rid of Ultra Foam. But there are a lot of people that love that product because of the way that it performs. Like this performs kind of beginning to end. Even when the soap is not on the car, there is the sealant left behind that makes your car really slick. Whereas Megafoam doesn't have that, right?
And it gives people the option too of, you've got car shampoo, normal amount of foam, Ultra Foam is like medium high, and Mega is like...
Yeah, and I'll say this too, like if you're not a ceramic coating person, which there's a lot of people that aren't ceramic coating people, and you only use H2O Garden Gloss as your protection agent, as a sealant, if you washed your car, maybe call it every other time with Ultra Foam, you're just going to continue to bolster the H2O Garden Gloss that's on your car because it has a sealant in it. So, no. Yeah.
Chester Thomas says, I use Megafoam to wash my house.
Oh, yeah, that's Dude, could you imagine walking by Chester's house and it's just covered in, like, it's already shocking when someone foams their car down in their driveway. You walk by Chester's house, his whole house is covered in foam, you know?
I'm imagining he has like a dark colored house and he's like traced Chester with the foam
Yeah.
onto his
Yeah,
house.
exactly. He's just out there like foaming his whole house down.
Cole says
His
is
neighbor's like looking through his blinds, like, what is Chester doing today?
that, what is my crazy neighbor doing?
Yeah, I respect it.
There's gonna be a next door post about it. Cole Hire says, does that interior gun have the? He says torpedo. I think he might mean tornado effect. Like
Yeah.
some other products we've seen on TikTok.
It does, yeah. Cole asked that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, probably the most famous product of this is called the Tornador. It's just like it's like a derivative of that.
Different brand, similar technology.
Yeah, I'd have to show it in the light, but you might be able to see easier over here. You can kind of see the straw inside of there.
Yeah.
So that's the thing he's talking about that like goes like this. So it's like, it sounds really weird when you use it. You know, it's like, yeah. So yeah, it does have that. And, you know, it comes with a container in it. And so the really cool thing about this product, which makes it work amazing, is here's the container right here. Is that, you know, all of our, this is, because it's interior, it's very much unlike our, like it looks the same as far as like the shape and everything of like a foam cannon, but this is an interior product. And so what you can do, because, you know, our interior stuff is not like concentrated like car shampoo, is you could just take a total interior cleaner or a leather and interior cleaner, and you could just pour this whole bottle into here, and then this little knob right here essentially regulates how much of the product comes out and shoots out of that straw. And so you can use it to like spray down hard panels of doors to spray out your cleaner, but also the force of air helps blast things out of, you know, like vents or especially like in the center console, like where some shifters, like the shifter in my 4Runner, it doesn't have the boot on it. It goes like straight in. So like food and stuff gets in there. I shouldn't be eating in there, but you can like blow all that stuff out with this interior cleaning gun. And so it's very much like in line with like the Tornador, which is like the one that I think that one hit the market and it was like, whoa, everybody loved it. And we were like, oh, that's pretty cool. We should see if we can get one of those.
What kind of PSI do you need for that?
You know what? I personally, I have no idea. I think if you go to the, if you go onto our product page for this product, you probably have a better idea of those stats. I think like the PSI isn't as relevant. It's like the capacity of your tank. You know, like I don't have I have like one of the really small, like two small like barrel tanks that are like this big. You almost need like a bigger one because what happens is like if you have a lot of PSI and it's coming out really fast, you can use it for like 10 seconds and then all the air in your tanks is gone. Whereas if you have a bigger tank, you can continue to use it for a longer period of time. So that's more what I would say is like.
I'll suggest a demo on that for in a future live video.
I could do it. Yeah, I could do this as.
Because I don't think did we do a product page video for that one?
I think we did, but it's been a long time since we talked about it. So yeah, I could do that. That's a cool idea.
Dan says 60 to 130 psi.
60 to 130 psi. That's a big range. Let's see. Any other questions? We have like so many weird things in our line. If not, I'm down to jump off and
Just hold still for a second so I can read.
I'll tell Anton this. The last time I played golf, it was bad. My swing is all out of sorts right now. But if you guys want to on a live, I could do like how to clean up, polish, restore, and ceramic coat golf clubs because I really need to do that because I have new clubs. So
Just just be comforted by the fact that your swing is always going to be better than mine. Minnesota's Finest says, does the strip wash take off old ceramic coating? And I would add, do you need to take off old ceramic coating?
Minnesota's Finest. I'm in good company right now, man. Does strip wash take off old ceramic coating? And Chris added to that to say, do you need to take off old ceramic coating? Strip wash does not remove ceramic coating. Ceramic coatings are too chemical resistant, too durable for that. So this is strip wash here, okay? Strip wash is more of it's like an acidic car soap. And what that's going to do is remove wax or sealant. So polymer sealant, carnauba wax, sometimes a lot of waxes are infused with sealant to make them last longer. It's going to remove those, okay? But it's not going to remove ceramic coating. And the reason, it also helps attack like salt and mud and grime, things like that. But Chris said, do you actually need to remove an old ceramic coating? Now, I will say this, depending on the ceramic coating you're going to apply, you probably want to polish your car, at least do a one-step polish on a car. Now, because old ceramics are silazane based, which we talked about earlier during this live, our graphene ceramic coatings will actually adhere to an old ceramic coating, whether that's from Adams Polishes or anybody. And so when it comes to like removing and reapplying a graphene ceramic coating, I wouldn't get too caught up with needing to get the ceramic coating off of the car completely. Plus, you would never know if you got it off or not. There's no way to really tell. There's no like meter that you could put onto a car that says like, this is how much ceramic coating's on the car. It doesn't really work like that. And so what I would say is, instead of thinking about getting the ceramic coating off, think more about what do you want your car to look like before you lock it in with a long-lasting ceramic coating protection. And this is assuming that Minnesota's Finest is applying a ceramic coating. Maybe they're not. And if anything, like getting the car looking to what your standard is, I'm assuming Minnesota's Finest is either a detailing company or just the best that Minnesota has to offer. But if you're doing it like as a DIY at home, then, getting your car to what you want it to look like before you apply a ceramic coating or a sealant or a wax. But as a professional detailer, also like getting the car to what your standard is before you deliver it to your customer is where you need to get it before you put the ceramic coating on or the wax or the sealant. So I wouldn't get too caught up with like needing to get it all off unless you're going to be putting like a wax on, because a wax will not adhere, like a traditional wax or a traditional sealant is not going to adhere to a ceramic coating. Ceramic coating will adhere to a ceramic coating, but a lot of the waxes and sealants that you see today, not all, but like a lot of them are infused with SiO2 for silica. So like those are going to work. But yeah, that would be like what I would say for that. Hope that's helpful. I mean, that's kind of I'm not trying to be like, don't worry about it, but it's just like I think it's a little bit too like hard to gauge if you like got the ceramic coating off or not,
Freeway Rail says, can I ceramic coat and then apply PPE wrap?
Can you, who asked that?
Freeway Rail.
Freeway Rail. Those are things they help save your life, but you don't want to run into them. But Freeway Rail.
I was imagining like a train track on a highway. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was thinking of like the thing they should put at Pikes Peak so you don't like go to Evo Corner and drive over the edge.
Totally.
Can you apply a ceramic coating and then put PPF on top? As far as I know, no, you can't, because I'm pretty sure the PPF won't adhere to it. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't know that for 100%. I'm kind of like assuming based on like, I guess the reason why I'm assuming is because you couldn't ceramic coat new wheels and then try to balance them. The wheel weights won't stick to it. You have to get them balanced first and then ceramic coat over the weights and the wheels. So I would say that for like a car, it needs to be like polished or whatever before the PPF goes applied, but you 1000% should put a ceramic coating on top of PPF. The reason being is it reduces the amount of dirt and grime that's on the PPF vehicle. So you're not going to abrade it as much when you clean it, but also the ceramic coating's a more durable material than just a standard PPF. And when I say durable, that's for like micro scratches. That's not for like rock chips, you know. So,
Yeah,
and
coatings don't do anything for rock chips.
yeah, but I will say this: there's a PPF and ceramic coating discussion is like, it's a lot, because the reason why is there's a lot of new PPF on the market that's self-healing. Okay, and so there's times where like I mean I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. It's like they got rock chips in the front of their car, and they like pulled into their garage, or they parked outside, and then they came out the next morning and like it looked like nothing happened because the sun, the heat from the sun allowed it to do the self-healing process with the PPF. And so I think that's a really cool thing, right? Like it can it can make it look like the PPF never gets damaged. But I'm pretty sure that the technology of the self-healing PPF is like crazy expensive. Like I think people are spending like $5,000 to $10,000 on that material to go on their car. So, you know, you could either polish and ceramic coat your car for $600, or you could spend 10 grand to get your whole car PPF'd, and then you never have to do any of it. Maybe. But the reason why I say like getting a ceramic coating on a PPF car is because when you wash it and you do things, you're going to abrade it. Now the thing about PPF, unless you have like this super sophisticated self-healing PPF, you can't go and fix it. You can't polish it. The way that you fix it is by taking it off and reapplying it. And we know that that costs a lot of money because it takes a long time and they're specialists. And so having a ceramic coating helps reduce the amount of micro scratches or swirl marks that you get on your PPF, so then it stays looking good for a longer period of time. So yeah, I could go on that forever, but PPF is a super cool industry, and it's like a growing industry, especially with companies like Tesla and Rivian and some of these other, even like the major manufacturers that like offer it before you even like get your car delivered, you know, type of thing. So we've had quite a few like Rivians come through here that have been, it's like I think they call it like the stealth PPF, where it's like the matte finish PPF, but it's clear. So then it goes over the paint, so it makes your car look like a matte finish, but it's actually the color of the car. It looks amazing. But the spray coating for that matte PPF is like the spray coating advanced especially is like a great thing for that. So yeah. Yeah, so listen, thank you guys for all the questions. Sorry I didn't demonstrate anything. It just ended up getting a dry throat from talking too much. But, you know, I'm glad that you guys came with like a lot of questions. They're really good questions. I think, to be honest with you, the part that I'm most happy about is we even came up with some future topics for the live. So I'll make sure to write those down. We'll work on some of those like next week. I think the first one that was requested was like which towels go with which products. And then another one is like defining more of the graphene ceramic line as a whole. And then another one is demonstrating the interior cleaning gun. So we have at least 3 more weeks of stuff before I run out of ideas again, and then we do another one of these. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out the Memorial Day sale. Also, you know, if you're new to Adams Polishes, or like you have friends that are asking you like, hey, what do you use on your car and this and that, go check out the Essentials kits. You know, I think those are a really cool option for people new to the brand, or also even people that are new from like, they're tired of taking their car through the drive-through car wash because it scratches every time. They want to start doing it at home. Boom, that kit is the one that you need. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week.